This is the first
Good evening, sir.
session on the course ACC for your second semester in English. So in this session, we will try to learn what copy editing is. So this will be a short discussion, interactive session on copy editing. So for our first-hand knowledge about copy editing, first we must know what a book is. So first we will try to know what book is. So for example, I have a book with me. You can see this book perhaps. Say a book, a textbook is there with me. A book is there. So this we call a book. And as you can see, it has a materiality in it. So it has got sides, size, a particular shape, a particular design, a particular copy. And we can find that this is a book on copywriting. So this is a book on copywriting. So this is a traditional book. The first, this page. Okay,
Sir, we can't see anything. The screen is black.
screen
Switch
is
to
blank. You
search
can see my.
window. Switch to search window. It's there.
So can you see me?
Yes, sir, now we can see.
So all of you can see me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I can read what you are typing. Huh? So this is a book.
Yes, sir.
I start. So this is a book. It has got a formal size. Okay, a particular shape. You can see a particular shape. So copy editing is all about bookmaking, but it is more related to what is there inside the book. Okay, the content that is there inside the book. So copy editing is what the material, what is inside the book, and what are the characteristics of a book, how the book is written, what are the aspects of its style. So there are different parts of the book. For example, this book has a cover page. The first page, okay, this is called the cover page. All of you can see this one. So we know this. So this is called the cover page. Okay, at the back we have the back page. Is it clear? So this is a back page. I hope if I stop presenting, it will help you, no?
Shagufta, you are accidentally presenting.
Yes, now you can see.
Yes, sir.
So full screen, you can see this one now. So this is the back cover. So this is the front cover. This is the back cover of the page, of the book. So if you just open the book, this is called the front inside. Okay, this white sheet is the front inside. This one page is the title page of the book. Okay, title page of the book. After the title page, so the book has two sides. So this one and this one. So on the left of you, you will see the left side. This is the verso, verso page. This one is the torso, right side. Okay, two sides of the page. So here you have the references to the publication of the book. All the details are given there. And this one is the contents. Okay, see the plural. So it is written here, contents. You can see this. the contents page. So when you open a book, if you have a book with you, just check. When you open, on the right side, the page that opens usually is numbered odd. Okay. And when the page opens, the left side of the page usually is numbered even. So this is the numbering of the page. After the content page, we have chapters of a book. A chapter is there. So it also starts with, a chapter usually starts on the right side of you. Okay, right side. That means it will contain an odd number. The right of the page will always contain an odd number. So chapter wise the page is there, the book pages are there arranged. So when you open a book, on the left side you have the even number, on the right side you have the odd number. So this pagination, this is called pagination. There are different ways of pagination. For example, this particular book has a pagination on this top. Okay, so it is called top, okay, right alignment when the pagination is on the top. Usually in the textbook we have the pagination at the bottom. So bottom, center, usual pagination. Towards the end of the book, usually we find appendix. In some books it is written glossary. Okay, glossary means a list of words are there arranged in alphabetic order. Okay, glossary. This is called glossary, or here it is mentioned appendix. So in some books you also have towards the end index. Okay. In this book the index is not there. In some books you have got index. So index again alphabetically arranged along with the page number, means a particular word where you have to search, that page number is mentioned. So that is called index. At the end of the book you also find selected bibliography or works cited, list of books. These are different names. So in all, this is called a book. So for copy editing, we have to know what are the stylistic features. So as you can see your syllabus structure. Have you seen your syllabus structure? So I resume presenting that for your help so that you can see the syllabus structure. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the screen. ACC Language Essentials for Copy Editing course on data curation. So data curation is not done for you. So it is a 2 credits course, Language Essentials for Copy Editing. The aim of this skill enhancement course is to equip learners with sufficient language proficiency so that they can apply and get desk jobs, primarily in print media. At the end of the course, as you can see, you will be able to edit copies efficiently and effectively for popular consumption in print media. Usually this course is designed for the future copy editors and editors. So the principal credit 1 credit, The different principles are there: abbreviations, acronyms, abstract expressions, use of cohesive and coherence markers, use of apostrophe, article, punctuation. All these words are familiar to you. Use of capital letters, collective nouns, commonly confused words, use of italics, use of plurals, officialis, use of quotations, quotes, so language and sexism, avoidance of unnecessary words. And the second unit is related to your practical training. That also contains 1 credit. So there will be hands-on exercise in copy editing using the theoretical knowledge. So course evaluation is theory 10 marks and practical is 15 marks. So we have to go for this online, the entire course we have to go for online. So copy editing, when you are talking about copy editing, so I would be just using the information that I have collected from mainly from Wikipedia. So it is a process of revising. Copy editing can be called as a process of revising written materials so that we can improve the readability and fitness for its purpose. We have to ensure that the text that we are going to print is free of grammatical, factual, and stylistic errors. So grammatical, factual, and stylistic errors. These 3 things are to be identified, and there should be some kind of error correction on the part of copy editor. So before the publication, either in the hard copy format or say paperback format, hardback format, so we have identification of 3 aspects. One is grammatical errors, number 2 factual errors, and number 3 stylistic errors. So when a copy goes for printing, even before typing, usually previously we used to make this handwritten copies. Nowadays, so many people prefer to go for just typing first. So copy editing is done before typesetting and again before the final proofreading. So proofreading is the final step in the editorial cycle. We have different manual of style. The most important manual of style that is used in the print industry is called the Chicago Manual of Style. So this Chicago Manual of Style usually refers to this as manuscript editing. So manuscript editing, what does it mean? So manuscript, by manuscript we mean man or human being written script, that is called manuscript. So manuscript editing encompasses any or all of the tasks along a continuum for simple mechanical corrections. That is called mechanical editing. Through sentence level interventions, line or stylistic editing, to substantial remedial work on literary style and clarity. So there are so many aspects, as I mentioned, mainly 3. One is grammatical, the second is factual, the third is stylistics. So we have to work on the literary style for greater clarity. We have to organize the content, the matter, the passages. We have to appropriate the style of language according to the field of discourse. You remember there are different fields of discourse. That means the place where the article is to be published and the type of field of study where that particular article is to be published. So we have to select, say journalism is one style, scientific journal, another style, historical or say critical essays. So we have to also talk about some tables and figures if there are, and substantiative editing has to be done. So professional associations are there for editors, and they also come to a common minimum program for manuscript editing in terms of level of editing. So intervention is required for copywriting. So usually the copywriters have clubbed this as light copy editing, medium copy editing, and heavy copy editing. So these are different forms. So when we have traditional book and journal publication or publishing, the term copy editing should be applied to expansive range of tasks. The work has to be correctly or incorrectly referred, so it is not simply proofreading. Previously, when manual typesetting was there, when we were in our college or university days, so we had manual proofreading. So typeset had to be set in blocks. And after that, the first print usually was given to us, and we had to proofread, pen and paper proofreading. Nowadays, because of the development of computer technologies, ICT technology, now proofreading is done on the computer. So usually either the PageMaker is used in professional world. PageMaker is an application for copy editing, or simple word processor that is used. So usually the authors use word processors to type their scripts, and editors also go for copy editing on that particular text composed in the Word doc format or docs format. So performing the conventional copy editing duties include the identification of grammatical errors, factual errors, as well as stylistic errors. Regarding stylistic errors, we have already had some discussion when we learned what PMLA style is in our first semester. So we know a little bit about the technical aspect, means the stylistic aspects of a written document or a technical writing. Several ways are there to look into this process of copy editing. So among this, so when we are using, say, the proof copy, and we are going for a check of this proof copy. So we must take into account the different aspects, as I said, grammatical, factual, and stylistic, in order to make this copy printable. So when we have this whole range of tasks before us, we must learn how the task is to be performed. So revisions are made, and these revisions are then passed on to the editors. Original content that is to be published under person's name, and then the copy editors have the choice of rectifying the errors, and even in some cases the errors are discussed before publication. The errors are sent to the author, and author gives the final permission to send to print that one. So in that stage, we either have a proofreading. The authors develop this idea of publishing manuscript. The rough draft is then developed into a proper printable draft. Any written material is meant for effective communication of content. And for this effective communication of content, different features are there to enhance the final product and make it more acceptable, marketable. So these are the two aspects, acceptable and marketable. So the readability of a proof edited copy or copy edited manuscript is more important. So copy editors are therefore expected to query the structural and organization problems. And they are also expected to fix some of these problems, not all the problems. So they are also expected to help the authors develop an idea into a publishable manuscript. That research paper might not be suitable for a book publication, a textbook publication. That textbook requires the readability, and the standard of readability has to be adjusted with the students rather than scholars. So in that case, the copywriter might suggest the author how this original manuscript can be made into a publishable manuscript. So in some cases, there is an overhauling of a rough draft, identify gaps in subject coverage, devising strategies, and more effective communication of content. So a proofreader must be aware of all these aspects, thereby creating features to enhance the final product. So it can become, so that it can become more marketable. By marketable, I mean acceptable by the readers. The publishing industry depends heavily on this. If the readers fail to accept the printed materials that the book has, the book will not sell. So it is closely related with the marketplace environment, and that has to be kept into mind. Say, for example, in the United States, Canada, so this entire task of an editor is called copy editing, the entire task of the editor. So highest ranking copy editors, supervising editors, they are well paid. And in the publishing industry, say in United Kingdom, even in European countries, the term copy editor is used, and they are also called sub-editors. For example, in newspaper publication, the statesman, when the statesman goes for publication, they use the term sub-editors. So these are minor differences. The task is the same thing. They are called sub-editors. So even senior sub-editors are there who work for the print industry. It's a large industry worldwide. And so many journals, newspapers, even publishing houses are there, publishing materials for print. So with the expansion of ICT technologies, the book publishing has got some new advanced features. Among these features, we also have online publishing. So online publishing has developed, and nowadays big publishing houses have shaped themselves into self-publishing groups. So I said earlier that copy editing has 3 levels: light, medium, and heavy, depending on the budget and the scheming of publication. The copy editor will have this scheme, or say permission, to apply the right type of copy editing. And this is conveyed even to the authors, what type of copy editing will be done. In some cases, the entire matter is changed, and the copy editors are experts in language. Most of them are postgraduates in English literature and language. So in copy editing, the first stage that we usually follow is that of mechanical editing. This mechanical editing is also called substantive editing. So this is a process of creating a document. Okay, creating a document or transforming a document from a manuscript to a print document, keeping the preferred style and grammar rules of publication. And that should be consistent from page number 1 to the end across all the content. So it refers to editing of spelling, punctuation, correct usage of grammatical symbols, along with reviewing special elements, such as I say tables, charts, formatting, footnotes, endnotes. Content editing, that is also called substantive editing, is the editing of the material and structuring that material, organizing that material into a product, a printable product, and to ensure internal consistency. This content editing sometimes requires heavy editing or even rewriting, and mechanical editing includes so many different aspects. One by one, I will come to the aspects of mechanical editing. So mechanical editing, as you can see on the screen, can you see on the screen mechanical editing? So mechanical editing, okay, mechanical editing is a process of proofreading a piece of writing for consistency, either internally or in accordance with the publisher's house style. So this entire content that you are seeing on the screen is from Wikipedia. So Wikipedia is available, just type copy editing, you will find the entire material there. Need not take note now. And I will upload this on the YouTube for your clarity. So mechanical editing is the process of proofreading a piece of writing for consistency, either internally or in accordance with the publisher's house style. So according to Einstein, mechanical editors work with such things as the following. So these are the keywords where we have to focus. So one by one, I will try to define what these keywords mean and how these are to be located and errors identified when you are rectifying the errors. So first is abbreviation and acronyms. There should be a consistency in the use of abbreviation and acronyms. Some of the abbreviations, as we know, are universally accepted. Say, for example, UNO. Okay. So USA, UK, or say former USSR. These are the abbreviations that are publicly known to all. And there are also some acronyms that can be used in a printable text. So acronyms and abbreviations, these are to be rectified. Say NATA, okay, NATO, NATO, NOTA, NOTA. So there are so many acronyms. So these acronyms, in most of the textbook, these acronyms are defined. So there can be a glossary of acronyms, either at the front or at the back of the page of the book. The abbreviations and acronyms should be mentioned. In research papers, where we have, say, references to the text, okay, in Chicago Manual of Style, we usually use such abbreviations and acronyms to mention the works, say collected works. Usually collected works is written as CW, but you have to define what these collected works. Say collected works of Lord Byron, volume 1. So what will you write? CW, Roman letters 1. And you should define that, which book it is referring to. So whenever in the text you are referring to this collected works of Lord Byron, volume 1, you will write in italics CW1. So these are called abbreviations and acronyms. The second is additional elements such as charts, tables, and graphs. Okay, chart, table, and graph. So as far as charts, tables, and graphs, you are familiar with these words. So in research papers or in any kind of printable material, we can find these charts, tables, and graphs. In case of charts, tables, and graph, under the chart, table, and graph, there has to be a title defining the chart. Tables are numbered. Okay, tables are numbered. Table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. In some books, especially social sciences books, economics books, the index to the table is also given at the end or at the beginning before the content page, or index to the table is given. Similarly, graphs, they should also be defined. So as students of literature, we usually do not need these charts, tables, and graphs. But as copy editors, you might encounter these charts, tables, and graphs often in the writing. The third aspect, as identified by Einstein, refers to capitalization. So this is entirely grammatical rules of capitalization. Usually dictionaries are followed in order to see the rules of capitalization, and grammar book that define capitalization. Say in the title of this slide, so the title of the slide is mechanical editing. Okay, so I have done a mistake here. So how I am now correcting this using capitalization? So I am rectifying this as capital E. So this is a rectification a copy editor has to do. Is it clear? So we have different types of copy editing techniques that we should follow. So when the same mechanical editing comes in the next line, if you are seeing the next line, mechanical editing is a process of proofreading a piece of writing for consistency either internally or in accordance with the publisher's house style. According to Eisenhower, mechanical editors work with such things as the following. Here the phrase mechanical editing has been used in a different way. Say if I use a subtitle to this. So for writing a subtitle, I have to first put a punctuation mark, and then I have to use small letters. So I cannot use capitalization while using a subtitle after colon. We get here, you can see this. So mechanical editing, a short view. So I modified this because I found that this mechanical editing does not cater to the task. So I have added a subtitle, a short view. But in this subtitle, I have not used a capital letter. While here I have used in both the words capital. So capitalization. Proper noun, name of the place, name of the things, name of persons, all these are written in capital letters. In English language, sentences begin with a capital letter. Okay, these are the rules of capitalization. So title, subtitle. So in the content page, when you see in the content page, a similar kind of use of capitalization is there. So different styles are followed. If someone is using a style of using a capital letter in the words, in the content page, the person can use. But always remember, when you are using capital letters, 4 types of words are usually capitalized. Say if I says, just converted mechanics of editing. You can see the difference. So here of is not of the 8 parts of speech, of is a preposition. So mechanics of editing. So important words, noun, verb, adverb, adjectives. These words are capitalized. Okay. While preposition, conjunction, interjection, these are not capitalized. Okay. Articles are not capitalized. Only important words are capitalized. So if I just use mechanics of the editing process. Once again, I have used the capitalization, M capital, E capital, P capital. Of and the, these are not in capital letters. Then comes footnotes and endnotes. So what is the difference between footnotes and endnotes? So at the bottom of the text, if I use some notes, that is called footnotes. So at the foot of the page, if notes are there, numbered, these are called footnotes. Endnotes refer to notes that are given at the end of the article or at the end of the book. So footnotes are just numbered at the bottom page. For example, if I want to add a footnote here, a footnote I want to add. So in Word, you will find insert. Once you come to insert, so you have got header and footer. So I'm using this PowerPoint to show you this. In Word file also, you will have this header and footer. So header and footer has to be touched, and then you have to select. When this is given at the end, it is usually called the end note. When it is at the bottom of the page, it is called the footnote. Then the rule of hyphenation. You know, hyphen is used as a punctuation mark. Compound words are there that are hyphenated. Apart from that, we have hyphen to join two words. Okay, compounding. Word compounding is done with the help of hyphenation. Say the person is 26-year-old. How will you write this? The person is 26-year-old. So 20 and 6. So you are compounding these two words. You have to put a hyphen in between 20 and 6. The person is 26-year-old, not years. So I have lived for 26 years. Again hyphenated 26, but years, plural. Okay. But 26, 20-6, year-old. Okay, hyphen has to be used there. Italicization. You know the rules of italicization. The italics in the Chicago Manual of Style or MLA style sheet refers to words that are italicized. For example, see, I am trying to make this italics. So on the top, there is italics sign. I just convert this into italicization. Italics. What type of words are italicized? In English? Number one, foreign words. Okay, foreign words. Foreign words that are not commonly used in the language. So English language has so many foreign words. Even from Indian languages, words are taken by the English language. So foreign words are there in English language. But the foreign words that are absorbed by the English language and are commonly used are not italicized. But foreign words that are not commonly used, but used for special case. Okay, these words are italicized in order to emphasize on the lending process of the words, that the words are of foreign origin. Say in Keats's poem that we heard last day, La belle dame sans merci. So this language is late Latin Italian language. So there the poet has to italicize the phrase. Okay, Musée de Beaux Arts. Okay, this is a name, proper name, French name. So it has to be italicized. So whenever foreign words are used, these foreign words that are not commonly used in English language, these are italicized. So we do not italicize, say, word like genre, commonly used in the English literary studies. So the word genre has no italicization in our research articles, in our textbooks. But when we use, say, bon voyage, okay, ab infinitum, cogito ergo sum, okay, Latin phrases. So verbatim, we are using those Latin phrases in our text. Those Latin phrases, foreign phrases, are to be italicized. So lathi charge, if we are using that, lathi charge has already become an English word. So we need not italicize lathi charge. But if you want to introduce, say ilish mach, this phrase you want to use in an article, so that in that case, ilish mach has to be italicized. And in the bracket, you have to give the name, proper name in English, say Hilsha fish or whatever name, ilish fish, that you have to mention. But if you just use the local language, vernacular language, non-English language, words directly taken or phrase directly taken from that, you have to italicize. So italicization is also used in case of titles of the books that are published separately, individually. Say a book called Shakespearean Comedies has been published as a book form. So when you are referring to that book in your text, you must put that in italics for the print. So MLA style refers to this italicization as a process. Previous to this italicization, when the manual typeface typewriting was done, so italics were not done, rather it was underlined. The textbooks were underlined. So nowadays, because of computer, in the word processor, we have this preference of italicization. So the titles are all italicized. But say a poem is there that is published in an anthology. She Walks in Beauty Like the Night, published in the book called Hebrew Melodies. So in that case, Hebrew Melodies, that text name has to be italicized, while She Walks in Beauty Like the Night has to be put in double inverted commas. Okay, even while writing your answers, handwritten answers, so when you write the name of the book, you underline that name of the book. And when you are referring to a poem piece or prose piece that is in the text, you use double inverted commas to refer to the title. Boldface type is used in the titles. See here, I have used the boldface. Mechanics of editing process, a short view. So I've used boldface. The boldface is usually used in the titles. So I can just change that into normal font. So you can see the difference. This is the normal font and this is the boldface. So this boldface is also used for special emphasis. If I want to emphasize on particular word, say in this, I want to emphasize the word elements. So I turn that into boldface. Okay, the font is changed into a boldface. So this boldface is done for graphological foregrounding. Remember graphological foregrounding? So the arrest of the attention is done through this boldface. Numbers and numerals. Okay, numbers and numerals. You understand the usage of numbers and numerals. These are to be used. In this case, I have not used numbers and numerals. Rather, I have used bulletins. So I can convert that into numbers and numerals. If I want to use numbering for this particular section, I can use numbers. So I have changed that into numerals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Numbers and numerals. Similarly, if I want to use this as the first slide, chapter 1. So I use this chapter 1, mechanics of editing, of the editing process. Mechanics of editing process, a short view. This is not hyphen, this is dash. Okay, this is dash. So I can just change this format. Chapter 1, mechanics of editing process, a short view. So this is number. So footnote has to be numbered, endnote has to be numbered, chapters are to be numbered. So when you are giving footnotes, superscript, numbering should be there. Okay. When you are doing endnote, again superscript numbering should be there, 1, 2, 3, numbering. So numbering are of different types. Numbering are of different types. Either Roman letters are used in small or capital, or numbers are used. In some cases, letters are used, A, B, C, D. So these are also part of numbering and numerals. The eighth feature is punctuation. Punctuation mark, appropriate use of punctuation mark has to be learned. And most of our effort is devoted to the use of punctuation mark, proper use of punctuation mark. So rectifying the punctuation in any kind of proof text is the most important component of copy editing. So you remember the punctuations that are used. So let us just recall to our memory, what are these? So English language has alphabets. Alphabets are of two types, primarily in the print form or in the written form. Letters small and letters are capital. So you repeat with me the simple grammatical rules. 26 are alphabets. You want to sing the song with me, just to remember the rules of punctuation and grammar. A short song. Yeah, would you like to? Yeah, participate with me in the song. So 26 are alphabets. Repeat with me. If you want to learn punctuation and speak like the English and copy it like the English, come on dear, there is no fear. It is very easy because 99.99% of this you know. These are the things that you know. There is no fear. Okay, there is no fear. So copy editing is a task that you all know. Okay. 26 are alphabets, letters small and capital.
26 are alphabets, letters small and capitals.
Yeah, 21 are consonants, A, E, I, O, U, vowels.
21 are
21 are
21 are
consonants.
consonants, A, E, I, O, U are vowels.
Consonants.
So you know this, all this you know. Join alphabets to make some words. If you join the alphabets, such words
Make
should
some
have some
words.
meaning.
It should have some meaning.
Okay, switch off your mics. Okay, no problem. Switch off your mics. Just repeat with me. Okay, loud and loud. So the
Sir, we are feeling like offline classroom.
yeah, offline classroom. Yeah, it is like that. So you can switch off your mic and just repeat with me, huh? Loud at home, so that members of your family must know that a class is going on, nursery class. So we start from the beginning. If you want to learn English and speak like the British, come on dear, there's no fear. Let us all learn English. Let us all learn English. 26 are alphabets, letters small and capital. 21 are consonants, A, E, I, O, U vowel. Join alphabets to make some words. This word should have some meaning. If you join these words in an order, what is formed? Sentence is formed. But such sentence should have, again, some logical structure and meaning. So words are formed on the basis of joining of alphabets. So what are nouns? Nouns are naming words. What are verbs? Verbs are doing words. Adjectives are describing words. And adverbs simply describe the verbs. So these are the four parts of speech where we have the grammatical rules, and these words have their own independent meaning. They contain a root, and that root has its independent meaning. With affixation in case of adjective, or in case of even noun or adverb, we have word formations, but independent meaning is there. But in case of pronouns, pronouns are used in place of nouns. Pronouns are used in place of noun. And how do we form conjunction? Conjunctions join, yeah, words, okay, parts of the phrase. So two different parts are joined. In case of conjunction, interjection, so interjection. So these are there. And then preposition. So it is positioned before the article in order to determine the noun. So prepositions determine the noun. So where is the cat? Where is the box? So the water is in the bottle. Water is in the bottle. Why not inside the bottle? So I am pouring water from the bottle. So preposition is used to determine. So before determiner article, that preposition is there before the noun. So preposition of the noun. So these 4 types of words are syntactical words, obligatory. You have to mandatorily use the words. A university, an umbrella, okay, a honorable man. So it is obligatory. So you have to know all these rules of grammar. And then if you know what punctuation is, I said punctuation. The most important punctuation is capitalization. So we have learned the rules of capitalization. Capitalization refers to sentence. A sentence begins with a capital word and the sentence ends with a proper punctuation. There are different ways to end a sentence. Period is used, full stop. Okay, don't say foolish stop. So full stop. So full stop is used to end a sentence. So this sentence, simple affirmative sentence, or even complex compound sentence, affirmative sentence. So you have a full stop. And then you have the interrogation mark, question mark. Punctuation is also used for exclamation, exclamatory mark. So sentence end in these 3 forms. There are different kinds of sentences. You know the kinds of sentences. What are the different kinds of sentences? So there are different kinds of sentences. According to the kind of sentence, the punctuation is usually used. The interrogatory and exclamatory sentences usually contain interrogative mark and the exclamatory mark, respectively. In case of other kinds of sentences, we have period to conclude the sentence. So there is a comma. Comma is a short pause. Comma is a short pause that separates a sentence according to the tone group, according to the content. The comma, use of comma. Say I am using comma, 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 puffs, powder, patches, and billet doux. So puffs, comma, patches, comma. So comma is used. But and billet doux, when I am using and billet doux, I am not using comma before and. So in Chicago Manual of Style, this comma is not used in front of a conjunction. And is a conjunction, before that a comma is not used. Otherwise, these different parts are joined in a sentence and this comma is used to just signify the parts of that content. Semicolon use is different. Semicolon use is different. So if a sentence has parts, okay, independent parts, not joint part, not conjoined parts. In case of conjoined parts, we simply use conjunctions. But if there are different parts and there are no conjunctions, even clauses are not there where the words are used. So different sentences are there, parts of sentences are there, but these sentences are interconnected. Okay, we use semicolon. Colon is used on the other hand in order to suggest the following. Okay, following means after colon we have some words. After colon either you have a quotation. If quotation is a smaller quotation in the same line within inverted comma. If it's a longer quotation, you move on to the next line, give a special indent again, and then quote the line. So answer the following questions. See at the top, things as the following. I have put a colon sign. Okay, after that colon sign, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the use of colon sign. So you have learnt all these, the marks of punctuation. Apart from that, there are parenthesis or bracket, first bracket, second bracket, third bracket. So use of first bracket, second bracket, third bracket, according to the grammatical rules, these are clearly defined, and different types of brackets are used. Even in scientific writings, mathematical calculation, different types of brackets, first bracket, second bracket, third bracket, parentheses, these are used. So these are also punctuation. You have hyphenation, you have the use of dash, you have the use of quotations, inverted commas. So single inverted comma usually is used to words that are not italicized, that are not kept in boldface. Okay, single words or even phrases that are technical. Okay, these words are sometimes put in inverted comma, but there the inverted comma is single inverted comma. But if you are quoting something, say from Shakespeare text, you are quoting something, to be or not to be, this quotation has to be put in double inverted comma. Okay, double inverted comma. According to Hamlet, okay, according to William Shakespeare, you have to put a comma and then put double inverted comma in order to quote that particular relevant section. So use of double quotation is there. Single quotation is used only in case of words or phrases that are used. Say Catch 22. If you are using Catch 22, Catch 22 is the name of a book by Heller, Joseph Heller. So if you are using Catch 22 as a phrase, so you can put that into single quotation. But if you are quoting any statement from Catch 22, you have to put that in double quotations. So we come to these quotations. Copious use of quotation. Okay, quotation is a part of copy editing. Okay, and you should always verify the original source of the quotation. And the quotation has to be cited, especially in technical writings and research papers. All the quotations require citations from where the quotation has been taken, which book, which page number, in case of poem, which line number, in case of play, which act, which scene, which line. So quotations, I said, when it is quoted in a text, this colon sign is a must before a quotation. Okay, this colon sign is a must when you are quoting. So if you quote something, use the colon sign and then use double inverted comma if that quotation is a shorter one. Okay, you can use that in a continuous manner. If that is more than 2 lines, you should just put that in the next line. Give a special, okay, tab. This is called tab when you press the tab. So indent, a special indent is there. Inverted commas are not to be used. These inverted commas are not to be used in this case. Okay, don't use inverted commas. When you are quoting more than 2 lines, say from a text you are quoting, to be or not to be, in the same line, you need inverted commas. But if you are quoting that in the next line with a special indent, you don't have to put inverted comma. Even in your answer script, if you do the same thing, in the same continuous line, if you want to quote something, you put the quotation mark. But if you're quoting that in the next line, you don't have to put the quotation mark. Just put colon, move on to the next line. Okay, give an indent. Special indent should be given. Okay, special alienation.
So then, why we have to put a colon marks in case of quotation?
Colon mark is there to suggest that the following. So according to Shakespeare, that means according to Shakespeare, the following quotation. Okay, it is implied. So you have to put a colon marks. Colon mark has to be done, has to be given. So if it is a continuous sentence, say I just quote. If it is a continuous sentence, I have to quote this one. Say following, say to be or not to be. So here I am using the inverted comma. But if the same thing I have to just refer to the next line without using the quotation mark, I have to use this. So I can start without inverted commas, but the colon is compulsory. Okay, in the Chicago manual style or PMLA style, usually a quotation is written in this manner. At the end, So after the quotation is written, you have to put citation. This is citation. Okay. So Act 1, Act 3 has to be put in normal. Hamlet I have put in italics. Point, say scene 2. Okay. Say line number 12. Then I close parenthesis. Understand? If it is 1, 2 lines longer, say if you are quoting 2 lines from the sonnet, 3 lines from the sonnet, use this format. But if you are using a phrase from this quotation, you can use simply colon and quotations. The use of quotation that you can learn from the grammar book, any kind of grammar book you can learn, or you follow the MLA style sheet. Spelling is also very important. In your copy edited text, you have to select which type of spelling you are preferring. So there are different types of spellings that are used nowadays in publishing.
So if I quote any sentence from any novel, then should I give the page number in bracket as I am giving for the plays?
Yeah, if you are quoting, say, from a portrait of the artist as a young man, yeah, opening lines. Once upon a time, there was a small baby Tuku, and he could only say cuckoo, cuckoo. So you are quoting that. So again, so the novel, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, begins with the following: colon, move on to the next line, give an indent, and just quote. Once upon a time, there was a small baby named Tuku. Okay, Tuku, and he could only say cuckoo, cuckoo. After that, use the parenthesis, mention. Yeah, mention. This is from James Joyce's work. You have already mentioned that in James Joyce's A Portrait. You have already mentioned that.
Yes.
So you need not. So you mention chapter, CH1. Okay, CH1. And if the book is there, you can simply don't use chapter, just page number. Page number 12, if it is page number 12, or say page number 1. Close the bracket. And
In my
because
answer sheet, I also have to do the same in my answer sheet.
in answer script, see, answer script and copy editing, these are two different things. Okay, in answer script and copy editing, these are two different things. One is meant for printing. Okay, copy editing is meant for printing. Answer script is not meant for printing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So citation is required for any kind of research journal. Whenever you are writing a research journal, you should mention that. In your answer script, if you mention that, that will give you an additional advantage. But in case of poem, in case of plays, we expect that citation. Say Act 1, Scene 1, line number. In case of novel, you can mention the chapter at most. Okay. At the end of the quotation, you can mention the chapter in case of novel in your answer script.
Okay, sir.
So come to the next one is spelling. I was saying spelling are of different types. One is international English. International English is a kind of combination of all types of spellings that are used worldwide, commonly used in the print media, in the publishing industry, in the bestsellers, whatever spelling is used. So in bestsellers, we find, say, foreign words, use of foreign words without italicization. So spelling is used, the foreign spelling is used. So that is international style because it is acceptable to the universal global market. All types of English readers, especially in the bestsellers, they use, say Harry Potter. Potter can use international English. But usually the place of the publication of that book, okay, and the type of publication of that book denotes the spelling type. So if you are using Chicago Manual of Style or PMLA Manual of Style, and if you are using American English, you should be consistent throughout. So if you are using American spelling, all the spelling that you are using should be Americanized spellings. So there is a basic difference between American spelling and English spelling, UK spelling, United Kingdom spelling. So in the worksheet, you will find this option. In the language, when you enter the language, you will find the option. Okay, you find the option, which type of language you are planning to use. The auto corrections are nowadays used in the worksheet. word processing sheet. So in the auto correction mode also you can select which type of language you want, American English or UK English or international English. Accordingly, you should rectify the spelling. So it is better for a copy editor not to go for automatic spell check. So in your WhatsApp or in your mobile phone, even SMS messages nowadays, auto correction mode is there, on. In the word sheet also auto correction mode is there, on. So even without knowing the correct spelling of the words, you can type and they will auto correct the spelling. Say if I write this word, CHARTS, CHATS, chats you understand is a independent word. So if I just make a mistake, chites, so chites, the word is there, probable, okay. But see, word is not there because it is underlined, red mark is there. Once it is red mark, you put, see, the correct spellings are given. Different types of spellings are given. So you select which one is the right spelling and then click that. But here I find that in the list, the word charts is not there. So what I say, I ignore all and then I manually, mechanically rectify. Okay, mechanical rectification is must for copy editors.
Sir, I think
yes,
this is a bad option for student because it affects on answer sheet.
yes,
Yes,
nowadays the error in the answer sheet, the
very bad.
spelling errors, the number of spelling errors has increased, especially because of these SMS and WhatsApp auto correction modes.
Sir, by using it, I'm forgetting. Yes, sir, I'm also forgetting the spelling. Common language, common
the
words.
Spelling
also.
of spelling. See, spelling of spelling. When I am writing spelling, see, it is automatically taking. So even if I don't know it is double L or single L, if I write ing, 3 L I have given, see, in word spelling. Naturally, it has, the correct one has come, as because I have not kept this auto correction mode on. So I have to manually correct this. So when you are manually correcting this, be very careful. For a copy editor, this manual correction is very important. Okay. So don't depend on the technology because these are all human created technologies and they have the limitations. Artificial intelligence has limitations. Words always contain a meaning as well as spelling. If you break one, it will produce a different type of, either it will be a wrong sentence or it will be a wrong meaningful expression. So we should be very careful as copy editor regarding the spelling. So if possible, cross-check, use the dictionary if possible. Or the dictionary that are online dictionary also you can use. So Gillard, another critic, also mentions along with this the followings: initialism, page numbers, headers, footers, underscorings as important parts. Initialisms refer to the address, initial addresses. Okay. So how to initiate writing? Say in a technical writing, the first paragraph does not have any indent. From the second paragraph, we have an indent of 5 spaces, but the first paragraph does not have indent. Similarly, when we are using some kind of title, subtitle, how we begin an article, so initialisms, page numbers, headers, footers, underscoring, proper spelling, punctuation, although these are subjective in some cases. Say in creative writing, the writers often experiment with spelling. New types of words are created. Neologisms are there, hybridization are there, portmanteau words are formed by the writers. So creative writers have this license, poetic license, in order to foreground things. They have this creative license. But as copy editor, you should be very careful. So technical writings or writings that are meant for common readers, these should not contain such neologisms, new word meaning. If new words are used, that new word should be explained within the writing. So most publishing firms use widely recognized style, such as the Chicago Manual of Style or the Associated Press style book. So if you can master this Chicago Manual of Style and the Associated Press style book, in the industry you have got high demand. Usually when you are applying for the post of copy editors, so many online publishing houses are now asking for applicants for copy editing post, and masters in English is the preferred. So if you have done this course, you have learned how to edit. As a copy editor, you can get chance in publishing houses. And say in Oxford University Press, although during this lockdown, nearly 100 copy editors have lost their jobs. So it has a large scale employment opportunity. Cambridge University Press, Oxford University Press, even Worldview, even the local presses like say Orient Black Swan, they employ copy editors. Okay, so if you can master this Chicago Manual of Style, that is, or the Associated Press style book, easily downloadable from the web. So companies that produce documents and reports but do not consider themselves publishers in the usual sense tend to rely on in-house style guides or on the judgment of the copy editors. Say Tata, TCS. Yes.
Sir, what is house style guide? I mean, house styles, you used it. Publisher house styles. What is this?
So in-house style guides means say Amazon.in, Amazon.com. So they have lot of publications, no? Apart from the publishing books, Kindle edition books, they also have so many printed materials, say manual. Okay, if you are going to purchase a washing machine, a manual is there. So Amazon has produced this, is now marketing this product, and they need a manual for this. So they have their in-house style guides. So there are manual writers. So they follow that style. So they will be using the American spelling. In some manuals, you will find multiple languages. So our style is almost used according to the in-house, okay, in-house traditions of that particular publishing house. So Oxford University Press has its own in-house style guide. Oxford University Press does not use this Chicago Manual of Style, because Oxford University Press, they regard their in-house manual more relevant than the Chicago Manual of Style. They do not follow the Chicago Manual of Style. So Cambridge University Press also does not follow the Chicago Manual of Style, neither the Associated Press style book. But if you are going to send an article for a journal, say Drama Review Journal or CLC Web Journal, so they suggest you to follow a particular manual of style. Say I have got a publication at the CWC Web magazine of the Purdue University. So they have asked me to write the entire article in a particular manual of style. They have provided me the manual of style, and I have to follow that manual of style. So they do not ask for footnotes. So that is their in-house style. So in-house style is decided by the publishing houses or printing houses in order to copy edit any kind of text. That is also their own traditional copyrighted. Copyrighted means that they have the intellectual copyright for that particular style. So they follow that one. As these are old publishing houses, Oxford and Cambridge, so they have one problem, that new technical innovations are already going on, but as because they have a large repertory archive of books published by these publishing houses, they have to maintain a consistency of style. In order to retain the consistency, they do not incorporate the modern manual of style. Okay, for example, in case of say footnote or endnote, they do not go for automatic auto header and footer style. Rather, they go for manual header and footer. So that is their internal in-house style, and that the copywriter employed by those publishing houses, they will be using those different types of style guides. So Amazon has got its own nowadays self-publishing, okay, KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. So when I published my books under KDP, they have suggested me some styles, and I have selected one style. I have to set the entire copy and then convert that into a book format and then submit that, and they will then electronically check that one, suggest me any kind of change, and then I have to, after proofreading the final version, I have to submit the final version for publication. Two formats are there. Kindle Direct Publishing has the online e-publication that we can read in Kindle book, and they also have paperback publication. So paperback publication can also be done through these publishing houses that are now developing. But traditional publishing houses like
So, sir, through
yes,
through these technical devices, they were using also copy editing on your text, which you have said.
yeah, there are two processes. Okay, manual or mechanical editing process is done usually by the printing houses. But nowadays, online publishing houses have developed their own software for these type of editing process. Okay, so these are also related to the mechanics of editing process, but these are not mechanical, okay, copy editing. These are not mechanical copy editing. These are software generated. So once you put the text in the software will detect the mistakes. Even in the Word format, you have this option. When you go for an automatic spell check, so here see underline. So in some cases, the proof copies are checked by converting that into a PDF format. And after PDF format, in the mechanical publication, I'm talking about mechanical publication. Even online publishing houses sometimes use the mechanical form of publication. So when I published in the CLC web, so I sent a copy, and after that they sent me a PDF formatted copy suggesting all the rectifications, and that is mechanically and manually rectified. Okay, whatever suggestions given by the copy editor, in their case they call them editors, that has been mechanically done with the help of a red pen. Okay, red pen is used to mark my mistakes, any kind of suggestions, any kind of formatting style changes that are suggested in the PDF format. So I have to turn that, rectify that in the Word, the copy that I have submitted. After rectification, I submit that again. Okay, then they again mechanically rectify that, mechanically check that whether the rectification done, all the rectifications are incorporated or not, and then final publication is done. So this is the mechanical process of editing, copy editing. So in case of Kindle Direct Publishing, this mechanical process of editing is replaced by software generated editing process. So software generated editing process has its limitations. They cannot rectify my contextual errors. Okay, conceptual errors they cannot rectify. They can rectify the grammatical errors which they can identify, which the computer artificial intelligence can rectify. But that has not yet developed into a foolproof one. Okay, because human mind, mechanical editing is much more preferred in the print industry.
So sir, they can rectify all three options, I mean grammatical, factual and stylistic, which you have said, both three options.
Mechanical editing requires collection of all these options. Okay, in the computer generated app oriented proofreading options, we don't have these, okay, facilities. All these facilities are not there. Auto spell check is there. So if you just see the Word file, you will find that these are also incorporated in the Word file. So it has some limitations. It can identify the errors. It can also nowadays rectify or identify the portion that is plagiarized. Plagiarization softwares have developed. So if you are copying, pasting from any other text that is available worldwide or in the print, they can identify that and they can put the proper citation automatically if a quotation is done. In case of mechanical copy editing, you have to check on the net whether the thing is there or not, then rectify the errors. So in my paper also there were nearly 20 errors. So these 20 errors I had to rectify manually and then submit. So there were some Tamil phrases in the paper written in Tamil, means I italicize the phrases, they asked me to translate that into English. Okay, so I had to put that English translation in parentheses. That was the editorial suggestion, copywriting suggestion. So the formatting in case of indent, in case of quotations, if the quotation was longer, they asked me to set that quotation using the indent mark. So these type of suggestions are given. In case of spelling inconsistency, so one word I had used Z, in one word I have used S. So ization, you understand, organization. So British organization is SATION. British spelling of convener is CONVENER. American spellings are different. So there should be consistency. In case of inconsistency also, mechanically they can identify that. Okay, they can rectify that automatically. Okay, mechanically they can identify that and ask you to rectify that mechanically. In case of auto-generated, software-oriented, they will identify that through the software and ask you to rectify that mechanically. And in case of auto rectification, usually they avoid auto rectification in all the printing houses. Even in Kindle Direct Publishing and other self-publishing houses, they avoid auto rectification. They can identify the errors. They will put the errors, they will highlight the errors and send the copy back to you. So you have to rectify the errors. So it is the task of the copy editor to rectify. And there is also the provision of submitting the text manuscript for copy editing against a charge. So you have to pay the charge for copy editing. So as a freelancer nowadays, just for copy editing, say 500 words, you get more than $1. Okay, just for editing, say proofreading of a 500 word text, you get more than $1. So if you work, say 2-hour copy edit, say 10 pages, you get $10. $10 means 700 rupees working from home. So this is the opportunity they have given. So even Wikipedia, you know, is sourced from various sources. Okay, so the editors are there, copy editors are there who are contributing to Wikipedia. You can also enroll yourself as copy editors of Wikipedia, and they are paying a lot for contributing the text for the Wikipedia. In our college also, the Department of Hindi, so Hindi Wikipedia is there. So Dr. Ajit Kumar Tiwari, he is guiding the students, UGs, to compose text for the Wikipedia. Now they have, during the lockdown period, when we were just crying for our results, that UG course students, they have transcribed more than 300 books during this period, the students. And some of them have earned more than 6,000 rupees just doing the copy editing task. Means converting the hard copy to soft copy in Hindi, rectifying the errors, copy editing, proofreading. So this is the copy editing market that is available to us. Even as students, if we want to work from home, we have to search for the publishing houses that are looking for copy editors. And if we know the manuals, especially the Chicago Manual of Style, so you can get online jobs for copy editing. And it starts from, I said, $1. It starts from $1. And publishing houses nowadays pay lucrative amount. So work from home is now being done. So many sub-editors and editors have now started working from home. So this is what I have to say. So shall I open this house for questions and answers? If you have any question, I can just respond to that.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, they actually ask for experience mainly. Like 1 year experience or more than 1 year experience.
Yes, you have to prove that 1 year experience. You will say that I've done this course. You have to market yourself. The industries in the world, they are depending on the freshers mainly. They depend on the freshers mainly. Otherwise, the freshers will never get jobs. Okay. So that, yeah, the larger publishing houses might expect from you experience. But before that, one by one, step by step, you have to go up. So ladder, you cannot just jump to the final step. First, you have to learn the thing.
Sir,
Yes.
I have a question. In the case of endnotes, we have to write it in the last of the first page. I mean, page or the books in the last portion of the book.
So endnotes are usually in research articles. At the end of the research article, endnotes are given. So as you are writing your term paper, we are using MLS style. So the endnote should be at the end. This has been done in the first semester, so I should not repeat this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
in case of book, I was telling that.
In case of book, individual chapters are there. So there are two ways. At the end of the individual chapter, for example, in Cambridge Guides to Literatures, at the end of the chapter, the endnotes are given. So in certain books, at the end of the entire book, chapter-wise endnotes are given. So I have a few publications. So say in in Pride and Prejudice, the textbook that I have published. So I put the endnotes at the end. Okay, I have mentioned notes. So the entire text notes are given at the end. But as far as the individual chapters, critical essays are concerned, the contributors are given endnotes at the end of their chapters. So both the formats are used. But the endnote is used instead of the footnotes. In several texts, you will find footnotes. Say Shakespeare's Arden edition. Arden edition has footnotes. At the end of every page, at the bottom of every page, you find footnotes. And there the Arden edition has a style of the folio edition. Means two columns are there in the Arden edition, in the footnote. You must have observed in the Arden edition, in the footnote, you have got two columns. And numerals are used, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that number is placed on the top. But in certain books, the endnotes are given at the end of the book. Yes. Any other question? So if you have any other questions, so I stop recording. Thank you very much for your attention.